up on my colleague Ms. Zerowitz's line with respect to the carbon tax rebate. I understand that it will be primarily an automated process. That the taxpayer will check a series of various boxes, or the metaphoric equivalent of that, and that the CRA will spit out a check going forward. Have I got that right? First of all,
that's generally accurate. Yeah.
Okay. My question is, my understanding is that to administer the carbon tax rebate, the government has asked for $180 million. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. That's the amount that the CRA has been allocated at this point to put in place the systems to essentially go through, be able to select these businesses, and then send them.
Thanks very much for that. So let's unpack that if we can a little bit, if you're able, because $180 million is a very large amount of money. What's involved in $180 million? How many full-time equivalents are being hired? What's being spent on software? What's the breakdown of the $180 million?
Yeah, well, as you're aware, I work for the Department of Finance, and those questions would be best addressed to the Canada Revenue Agency as to exactly how they will allocate it. But as I indicated, it's to implement a system that's able to calculate the payments for the administrative system that matches the payroll, the corporate income tax information, and then gets to that result. But
okay,
in large amounts, of course, given the volume.
Yeah, with no disrespect intended, we've got 76 government officials here, and no one can break down the $180 million that's being spent. But that's fine. I'll move on. I'm going to ask you questions with respect to forecasting and financial impact. And I actually want to read a quote from the latest convert to the Milton Friedman School of Economics. And this individual said, "Can you send us more benefits or extra $1,000 a month? Well, as soon as you do that, inflation goes up exactly the same amount." That recent convert to the Milton Friedman School of Economics is none other than Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. So my question is to finance officials, with the additional $40 billion of net new spending, do you agree, would you build that into your forecast, as the Prime Minister has clearly said that it is inflationary?
So I think, Mr. Chair, that we've got people here to talk about the specific measures of the bill. I don't think there's anyone from our fiscal policy branch that does that kind of forecasting that was in the budget and is taken into consideration.
Okay, I'll move on then from just with respect to Pillar 2. Of course, is designed to reduce the amount of tax avoidance through the transference of profits to lower tax jurisdictions. My question, though, is before we start building new structures, I think it's important that we stop the leakage in other areas. And so the Panama Papers they've got to be more than a decade old. We've got 75 government officials. Could one of you please tell me about the convictions we've obtained and the dollars that we've obtained from those individuals who were highlighted stealing from Canadian taxpayers?
So there's no one here from the Canada Revenue Agency, so they would need to provide that information. I think they may have. I think at the previous meeting they may have said that they would follow up with that information, but we can see what we can do.
Yeah, they haven't followed up. I would encourage them to, but I can tell you what the number is. It's 0 convictions and it's $0. And so a lot of commentators and experts have said, and I just say this with respect to bring this back to your departments as you pass legislation, that Canada, with respect, the real issue is enforcement, and that comes back to the civil service and making that happen. We have the wealthiest individuals in Canada who are utilizing tax havens to get money, and we continue to pile more legislation, more red tape on middle-class Canadians while allowing the wealthiest of our society to take advantage of those loopholes. Thank you very much. I believe that's about